morning, I'm Jerry Ingram with Volunteer Home Mortgage, and I am this morning's sponsor. More about what my business can help with all your mortgage needs is coming up soon. But first things first, let's get over to Wake Up with Witcher, which is coming up next.
It's time for Wake Up with Witcher. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
And good morning, my friends. It's 7 o'clock right now. This morning's Wake Up with Witcher, sponsored by Volunteer Home Mortgage. You can visit them online at volunteerhomemortgage.com or call them at 865-238-7500. They've got a slew of available loans to be able to help you out if you're looking for a new mortgage. Whether you move to town or you're looking to move somewhere else, Jerry and her team are available 7 days a week. They've got a lot of information that they can help you out with. So if you are looking, or if you're confused or trying to figure it all out, that's why their team's available 7 days a week. Again, Jerry and her team don't just offer mortgages in the state of Tennessee, but also into Georgia and Florida as well. So again, give my friends over there at Volunteer Home Mortgage a call at 865-238-7500 or visit them online at volunteerhomemortgage.com. We do have some patchy dense fog showing up here across East Tennessee. Look at what it looks like in Maynardville here this morning. Foggy for sure. Not quite so much near downtown Knoxville right there at Hall of Fame and Summit Hill. As the kids head off to the bus stops, we're now in the 60s. We're on our way into the upper 70s as they head home from school. But again, as I mentioned, we do have a dense fog advisory that's been issued by the National Weather Service. This runs until 9 o'clock this morning for all of East Tennessee, except for the Cumberland Plateau, where visibility has dropped to less than a quarter of a mile in many locations. Here around Knox County, we do have some thick fog, and that stretches all the way down Alcoa Highway, 441, 321, from Townsend to Pigeon Forge, Maryville to Greenback. So, again, you might want to give yourself just a little extra time as we get this Wednesday morning started. It's Wednesday morning, and I, based on the weather, have not taken a poll on the camel yet. So stay with me, folks. We will have a little bit more fun. Let's get through this event. I want to be a little bit I don't want to be too silly, too goofy too soon, so that's what we're going to deal with. Plus, we've got some update on the information that I want to pass along to you coming up here in just a few minutes as well. All right, so happy Wednesday, everybody. It's hump day. Yes, the camel is up there. We will name him hopefully by next week. We'll see. Weather's going to quiet down a little bit, so that would be good news. All right, as you step outside this morning, current temperatures are now in the 60s, so it feels pretty good outside. We've got dew points are in the 60s as well this morning. And so that's why those temperatures are close to the dew point numbers, and that's why we do have the fog forming out there this morning as well. We've got a lot of moisture still trapped in the low levels of the atmosphere and at the surface, and so any sort of clearing that we have during the overnight hours, well, you're going to see some fog. And I actually think that the fog is probably going to be even thicker tomorrow morning because we have a little bit more of an inversion taking place in the saturated low levels of the atmosphere. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow morning, I think more fog. All right, heading through the day today, we actually have a weak, dry, cold front. Maybe a stray shower at like the best. Not looking at a whole lot of activity. What this cold front's going to do is just bring us a little bit more sunshine as we get through the day today, tomorrow, and even as we round out the work week. All right, so the forecast for the day today, again, temperatures in the 60s this morning. We're going to climb into the low 70s for the lunch hour. Should be some nice sunshine. So if you want to hit a nice patio here around town, it's going to be a great lunch hour to do so. Forecast highs back close to those seasonal averages. Average high for this time of year is 78. We're going about 79 in Knoxville. So north of Interstate 40 and along the plateau, we should be in the 70s. South of Interstate 40 in the Southern Valley, we should be in the low 80s for the most part. So I think Chattanooga is going to make it to about 82 or so. As we get into the evening hours, as if the kids have ball games or practices here tonight, if you have any outdoor events, it's going to be nice and comfortable as well. We're going to be in the mid-70s by 6 and down into the upper 60s by 8 o'clock tonight. So there's that cold front. It's going to just kind of fizzle on out. Now, we do have an upper level ridge of high pressure that's shifting across the southeastern coastline, and that's why the winds will shift from the northwest to the south and southeast for the most part. That may usher in a few more clouds and a slight chance for a couple of isolated light showers across the mountain counties. You can kind of see that little swirl in the atmosphere. But other than that, this frontal boundary swings its way through as we get into the weekend. So we have another cold front on the way for the upcoming weekend. And it's that second cold front that is going to make it feel absolutely amazing next week. If you've not seen this on social yet, you're about to see, and we're all about to just rejoice that some solid fall weather is on the way. When you look at our 3-day forecast for rainfall, again, very minimal at best. Best locations for seeing any sort of rainfall at all are locations that, well, have been inundated with the floods, but it's not going to add up to a whole lot. So no issues whatsoever. And that's going to be the story over the next 7 days. And actually, really, Looking above and beyond that with your 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, still looking at below average precipitation all the way through the middle part of the month. And so October, again, I mentioned all the time, October is our driest month of the year, and it looks like that's going to be the trend here over the next 8 to 14 days out. So minimal chances for rain at best Friday, and maybe again on Monday as that frontal boundary swings through. By the way, our temperatures on Monday, our high temperatures may be an early high temperature. Let me explain. Finally, some fall weather arrives, I say. What you're looking at are dew points, okay? And dew points in the 60s keeps our morning lows in the 60s. But remember, the temperature can and never will fall below the dew point. However, here comes our Sunday cold front. It's going to usher in some much drier air. And that dry air is going to be with us all next week. So with dew points in the 30s and 40s expected, maybe even low 50s for dew points, that means that the morning lows are going to come on down. How about some clear, crisp, cool nights heading our way? Next Tuesday, Wednesday, we're talking low temperatures in the 40s and the 50s. Can I get a rejoicing here? Here we go. This is what we need. Some precipitation and then some nice, clear, sunny days and some cool, crisp nights. And hopefully we can start to get these leaves to pop a little bit. Low temperatures will stay in the 50s and 60s until next week. Highs this weekend, average high, I said 78. It's actually 77 now. Falls pretty quickly in the month of October. Average highs are 77, so we're going to be in the low 80s and trending above average as we get into the upcoming weekend. And then Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have high temperatures in the 70s, like low to mid 70s. And that's what the Climate Prediction Center is saying as well. Yeah, a little bit below average. Then as we get into the middle part of the month, we'll probably trend about average. So we'll have those nice sunny 70-degree afternoons, which I think we all would like right about now. A quick check of the tropics. Anybody heading to the coastal areas? Doesn't look like it's going to be much. We still only have a 40% chance of some sort of tropical development, which is not high, and it's stayed that way for the last 3 or 4 days or so. So when you look at it, yes, a low-pressure system is going to be moving its way into the Gulf of Mexico for any vacationers heading down to the coastal areas. Maybe a few showers, so grab the rain gear and the umbrellas, take those with you. I think the low pressure may drift its way over towards Florida. So from the Big Bend down to Tampa and Miami, probably the best chance for some good solid showers anyways as we get into Sunday evening if you're going to be traveling out and about across the coastal areas for fall break. And remember that you can always stay on top of the weather forecast where you may be traveling to. Just click on the little tiny plus sign right there at the top of the app. If you don't have the app, you should search East TN Weather, all one word. And then you can get the updates for your vacation forecast. But when you're on vacation, what you do is you come back to the daily weather forecast updates where I will give you updates on how the weather is playing out here so you know exactly what's going on as you head home. All right, my friends, we sure hope you're having a great morning so far. Hopefully you enjoyed the weather yesterday. It felt good. It was like a couple moments of time where I was like, I don't know, do I need a sweatshirt on? But, yesterday was kind of one of those days where maybe shorts and sweatshirts or jeans and a t-shirt kind of a day. But all good things, and even better weather next week. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here this morning, but again, as I mentioned, I'm not doing much of the camel today. We're not going to, we'll do the normal things, but I did want to give you an update here for just a second. Let me pull this up on social media here. So give me 1 second. If you happen to join me on social media yesterday, you probably saw that I posted a picture. Okay. And there's the picture right there. That is Nancy and Jimmy Tucker from Tittle Circle in Jonesboro, Tennessee. After Friday's floods, they have not been found. Well, there's an update. Jim's body was found yesterday. Nancy's has not been found yet. Just another one of the flood victims. So we'll just do a quick little moment of silence for Jim this morning. It's a sad day in our own backyard, my friends. Sad day in our own backyard. Right in our own community. And I know so many are doing what they can to help the flood victims, the ones that survived, of course. The rebuilding will continue. But thank you for, anybody who's donated, anybody who's spent some time heading off to these locations to help. I think Felicia, said your husband's going there to help, I think it was. Anyways, Anyways, all right. Didn't want to be a Debbie Downer here on this Wednesday, but got to give you these updates because it's important for our community to understand what has happened. And that's why it's so important. And I can't stress enough, not that they didn't have the information, they didn't have the warnings. Everybody had the warnings. Hopefully everybody got the warnings that was in fact affected by the floods, but sometimes you just can't do anything about it. But that's where the East Tennessee Weather app comes in handy because you would get all flash flood notifications. The information was being dumped on us constantly by the National Weather Service, by TVA. I was posting a ton about it. But that's why it's important to stay on top of the weather forecast when things start to take a turn for the worst. And the East Tennessee Weather app and the East Tennessee Weather platform is here to do that every single day. Now, of course, as we head through the next several days, we're looking at plenty of sunshine, quiet, dry conditions. So hopefully you get a chance to get out and just kind of take a deep breath, maybe look to the sky, say a little prayer for all the people who have lost their lives or the people that are still missing in our own community. There are still lots of people still missing. All right, let's bring it back up a little bit, shall we? Let's bring it back up a little bit. How's everybody doing this morning? I will tell you, we've got some cool stuff coming up. I will tell you that also I will be broadcasting live on Saturday. Not 100% sure the time frame, but it's going to be before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll be broadcasting live from Carson Newman. So we're going to be up there with Farm Bureau. So make sure you come out there. If you're up around the Carson Newman area, you want to come say hi. I'll be at the big bright red tent with the Farm Bureau team. We are going to recognize the winner. They've been doing a winner with on social media, and they're going to be giving a bunch of swag away. We've got. Let's see. They got a big swag bag they're going to give away. They're giving about 100 T-shirts away at this event. So if you want to come free T-shirt and you want to come say hi, and then we're going to be announcing their winner of their contest on the air on Saturday morning. So if you're going to be in and around the Carson Newman area on Saturday, I'll be there probably, I'm guessing, about 11 o'clock in the morning or so. The football game starts at 1. And I actually think I've heard that we're going to be broadcasting right there in one of the end zones before the game. How cool is that going to be? That's going to be so much fun. So anyway, hopefully you can get a chance to come out and say hi to me there. Let's see what else is going on. Thanks to all of you who helped me celebrate my 1-year anniversary yesterday. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were chit-chatting about, the disaster that ensued 1 year ago on that first day. Remember, I don't know if you recall, if you joined me on that first day, I'm not quite sure, but I got kicked off of YouTube at like 2 hours after I already started the broadcast. I already built this thing all summer long and working really hard to bring a new platform, and it just came crashing on down. And of course, you've been a part of some of the snafus along the way, but you stayed with me, and I do appreciate that absolutely every single day. So thanks for helping me celebrate yesterday. Wanted to do a little bit more, but with what's going on in our community, you got to keep things at bay a little bit. So let's see. You're on a stay-home vacation. It's been nice outside. Hopefully your vacation lasts until next week, Katrina, because next week's going to be even more amazing. Also, we were looking at something to do for fall break because we're also doing a staycation. We're not going anywhere, but my wife's got a couple days off during their fall break, and so we were trying to find something to do. We were thinking about the Virginia Creeper, and then I started doing some research, talking to a buddy of mine who joins us every once in a while here on the platform, Nathan, and we started talking. Well, Damascus and Abingdon got walloped as well. The Virginia Creeper is, I think they're still trying to work on opening it. Maybe the top part is open, but the bottom part from Damascus, I think, to Abingdon is closed right now. But the problem is the Virginia Creeper may be open for some sightseeing here as we get into the fall, really when the leaves really start to change. But the problem is I have heard that the road to White Top Mountain, because you can take, if you've never done the Virginia Creeper, it's really, really a cool experience. It's like 18 miles all downhill. From the top of White Top Mountain all the way down to Damascus. Beautiful little town of Damascus, great up against the mountains in the southern sections of Virginia. If you've never done it, I highly recommend it. But for like $18, you can get a shuttle to the top, and then you can bike all the way down. You can rent bikes, or you can take your own bikes, and they'll shuttle you to the top. It's a lot of fun. But I've heard that the roads have been washed out all the way to the top of White Mountain, and there's some folks that live up there, so now they're stuck up on the mountain and they can't do anything. And, as I mentioned about tourism, this is a big time of year for tourism. A lot of folks come to our community to support us and check out the fall foliage. That's a lot of money into our back pockets for our community. Also, the coastal areas. A lot of these coastal areas that were inundated by the hurricane are not going to be able to make any money during a big tourist season. And that even heads all the way into Christmas time. And then, you have places like Damascus and the Virginia Creeper and so many other places that really rely on tourism, i.e. Cataloochee. I said that the other day. Cataloochee. Now, we were going to buy season passes to go to Cataloochee, and now we can't get there. Take 3.5 hours to go all the way around just to go skiing for one day, and that's just not going to happen. So, there's a lot of places, a lot of communities. So I think if you can try to help us and support local more than the big box stores at this point of the game, always if you can, because it's so much better to support our own people in our own community that keep it going. But if you can support them, I think that's always going to be a great thing. Big prayers for everybody for sure. Let's see what we got. Your church is taking supplies. Betty, go ahead and put that link in here if you want. What church is it? So people can know. Maybe if somebody's joining around your community, they know to take donations there. To all the churches. All the churches are doing a great job. The American Red Cross is doing a great job. There's a lot of local people that are doing a great job. The city of Knoxville is doing a great job. And, of course, all the local TV stations as well. Everybody's just chipping in what they can, and much, much appreciated. Let's see. All right, let's move right along let's have some fun a little bit, shall we? All right. Well, this is new. I guess this is a new thing that's popping up on this site, but today's national holidays. Hey, by the way, it's October 2nd. So we're going to celebrate birthdays and events that are going on the second day of October. I can't believe it's already the second day of October. National Smarties Day. Anybody out there like Smarties? I'll eat some Smarties. Typically, I have those during, Halloween. So that's coming up right around the corner. We're doing a National Walk to School Day. How many of you used to walk or ride your bikes to school? For us old timers around here, uphill both ways in the snow with no shoes on, right? I used to ride my bike. I mean, growing up in the 80s, I was more of a latchkey kid anyways, right? So we used to ride our bicycle to school all the time, which was not close, by the way, because I lived in the city of Denver, so we were in the suburbs, but my elementary school was actually a good distance away. It wasn't like in our own backyard like my kids' school is here in town. It's National Pumpkin Seed Day. Ooh, who loves to roast pumpkin seeds after the pumpkins? I love homemade roasted pumpkin seeds. They are some of my favorite. National Coffee with a Cop Day. Oh, there we go. There we go. If you see a police officer in town, maybe go buy them a cup of coffee. Be like, hey, you want to sit down and have some coffee? It'd be a lot of fun to do. National Custodial Workers Recognition Day. Absolutely. Our places wouldn't stay clean without the custodial workers that we have to keep our businesses up and running. So big shout out to you if that's what you do for a living. It's also National Name Your Car Day. I love this. I love this so much. I actually don't have a name for my current car, but I've always had a name for my cars. And one of my cars that I named in high school, it was my very first car. It was a 1989 Toyota Tercel. Much better than the Dodge Plymouth or the Chevy Dodge. I guess it was Dodge. Was it Dodge Plymouth? I think it is. No, it was Plymouth. I don't know. Anyways, whatever my brother drove before me, we had hit a deer like just that winter before I turned 16. So, and it's a long story. My parents didn't give us a car, but we ended up getting a car. I just won't go down that road right now. No, we had to work hard for our stuff that we had growing up. Anyways, my first car was a 1989 Toyota Tercel. It had a blue and pink, very thin blue and pink, like bright pink and bright blue, racing stripe down the side, like really super thin. It was a two-door. It was a stick shift. I was so excited. I thought it was amazing until I started seeing my friends' cars because their parents were rich and they bought some of my friends got brand new cars, Acuras, Hondas, 4Runners and all that. I went to a wealthy school back in Denver, but we were not. Anyways, my car we called it the Beak because it just like after we started looking at it and stuff like that, it looked like a big old nose going down the road. Go Google, go search. I'll just put that up here. How about this? We'll go Toyota Tercel 1989. How about this? Well, I'll show you what my car looked like. That's what my car looked like right there. That was my very first car. Oh my gosh. Goodness. All right. So yeah, we called that one the Beak. Then I guess I didn't really name my cars after that. Let me know if you named your cars. And it's National Fried Scallops Day. Anybody like scallops out there? I absolutely love scallops, but you got to cook them right? Nice sear on top, little mushy in the middle, like just barely sear them in some like garlic butter and maybe some white wine. Oh, it's so good. All right, it's National Produce Misting Day. Who doesn't love the little misters at the produce? And one of my favorite things about the produce misters is they always warn you when they're coming on, at least at most grocery stores I've ever been to, with the sound of thunder, which I think is a brilliant idea, right? We need weather to produce the produce, and how cool is it the grocery stores throw on that little clap of thunder and then and it's Random Acts of Poetry Day. I don't have any random acts of poetry, so that's all I got for the day today. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see. Maybe Mel. I'm not sure. I don't know. Although I was talking to KUB guy yesterday, that gentleman came over to upgrade my gas meter because I need to get a bigger gas meter with the generator that I've had installed thanks to City Heat and Air. And he was talking about how there was like a mudslide in Wyoming. I think it was earlier this year or something like that, he said, and they were there. They were worried about their trip on one of the roads, but they apparently got the road open pretty quickly. So we'll see how fast they'll be able to get these trails and paths and roads back open. But it's going to be quite some time and months probably for I-40 to be reopened the way it used to be. Oh, that's very cool. Going to Michigan, grab your sweaters. Likely to be much cooler up there. So, Dina, as I've mentioned, remember that with the East Tennessee Weather app, you can add your city and location on the app. If you have family and friends there, if you typically travel up there quite a bit, remember that let me go to this one. You right here at the top of the screen. Don't forget, you can put your click that little plus sign if you have the app, Dina, which you should, and click that. And then you can put in whatever town in Michigan you're going to. And then when you're there, you'll be able to get an update on the forecast there. If there's any crazy weather, like any sort of, it's snow. Okay, no snow, but you get the point. And then before you come back home, Dina, or anybody going on vacation, make sure you click on the daily forecast weather updates, and that will notify you of. You'll be able to see what's going on in East Tennessee before you travel back home, so you can always know what you're going to do, what the weather's going to be. No on the go, right? No on the go. Probably about 11 o'clock in the morning there, Kimberly. Good morning, everyone. Robert says, finally made it on today. Happy 1 year. Doing your own thing, Mike Witcher. East Tennessee weather just keeps getting better and better. Thank you very much, Robert. I appreciate that. It is going to be, it's great. I love it. Yeah, around 11 o'clock, guys. I'm thinking around 11 o'clock if you want to come say hi. Again, I've not gotten all the official details. They're still working them out, I think. So but I had heard that we'll try to be broadcasting from one of the end zones. Would be really cool. Have all the crowd in there watching us. Maybe I'll get nervous. Let's see. Scott, what's up, Scott? How are you this morning? He says, sorry if you've already addressed it. Would you go to Florida next week with the unsettled weather in the Gulf? Yes. At this point in the game, I would. Just take your umbrellas because I think the heaviest rain will be probably from the Big Bend of Florida down to Miami. So Tampa area probably. And I think we'll see some coastal rain showers as well. But it doesn't look like it's going to be turning into anything major. If for some reason in the next couple of days things drastically change, obviously I'll keep you posted on that, Scott. So, and make sure I've been posting a lot about that on social media. So you got to come to my social media pages sometimes to see more weather information. You can't just scroll through your feeds because you're only going to see about 10% of what I push out anyways. So anyways. All right, so Betty says Loudon Freewell Baptist Church, 341 County Lane Road in Loudon. So if anybody knows where Loudon Free Will, Baptist Church is in Loudon County, they are hosting a drive basically where you can drop off some goods for the flood victims. So thanks, Betty, for that. I appreciate that for sure. Cheryl likes Smarties. Ooh, I've got a friend whose birthday is Halloween too. It's your birthday's Halloween. Well, we'll wish you a happy birthday on Halloween. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be dressing up on Halloween Day. I don't even know what I'm going to go as yet. I think the kids already figured out what they want. My wife and I have not really figured out what we are going to do yet. Oh, it wasn't the best, Katrina. It was great. Pumpkin seeds are great. Let's see. Facebook is no longer sending me a Wake Up with Witcher link. I walked to from, no joke. Oh, yeah. What do you mean it's not sending you a link anymore? Anyways. Will you name all of yours? All right, anybody? You need to name yours, Cheryl. It's always fun naming your car. I don't know why I've not named my car right now. Or my last couple of cars, I've just not named. I don't really like my car right now. I drive a Chevy Volt. A little electric car. It goes like 10 miles on a charge anymore. I've had it for like 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer than that. I think I've put like 100,000 miles on it already. So the battery is slowly but surely dying. But one day we'll get a new ride. One day. What are you talking about, my friend? Oh my God, was it totally after the deer? What? I'm not following along, Mel. I'm going to name this one Michael. Perfect, Kimberly. I bet your husband's going to love that. Yours is BB. That's awesome. I love that. You got to tell me a little bit more about why it's BB. The beak. Bluey is a boat. Okay. The name of Krista's in my car is, I don't even know what that is. Hellhest. Your first car was a Super Beetle. You had an 85 Corolla SR5. Nice. With the flip-up headlights. I drove, so my parents weren't going to allow me to take a car to college, my freshman year of college. They're like, no car unless you buy it yourself. So I did. I was like, I had some money. I get bit by a dog. I had a little extra money. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, I'm fine. Maybe not. I'm still a little nuts, but that's another story as well. So my parents wouldn't let me, but I bought a 1986 Acura Integra, also Dina, with the headlights out. Loved it. Loved that car. And then when I first got my job here, I actually upgraded to a 2002 or whatever it was, Acura Integra. So I ended up buying a newer one because I love Acura Integras. Your car's name is Blanche. I don't even know how to say that loud. Blanche Devereaux? Devereaux? Who's Blanche Devereaux? That's probably true. Well, no, the Tercel did not get totaled. It was like the Plymouth Acclaim. That's what it was. Not a Dodge. It was a Plymouth Acclaim. Like this little box. It had a hail damage one, so my parents gave us, my older brother got a car because it was a hail damaged car. My dad's like, well, we're not going to drive around a fully hail damaged car, but he did all through high school. And then we got in an accident and hit a deer, so we totaled that car, and so ended up insurance buying the Toyota Tercel. My brother's like, what? We thought it was the coolest car back in the day. And it's a car. Listen, I used to pack all my friends in that car because I was the first one that turned 16 out of all my friends, like 6 months before anybody else, which is also going to be like my kids as well because they're May babies, May and June, and we started them in kindergarten when they were 6, not 5. So they will get their license as a freshman. No water in grocery stores. Do that. No produce in stores. What? What are you talking about, Willis? Cheryl? At least you like scallops. Nice. Jesse, I bet it is insane. Just from what I've seen, social media and the news. Insane. And from what I understand, doesn't even do it justice unless you go there. Pictures and video just doesn't do it justice, does it? There you go, Rhonda. Proud of you. Give you little tips and tricks on how things are going to... I'm getting a new app update. I'll tell you about it later, but what's going to be really cool is anytime I'm live with severe weather or anytime I'm live like right now, if anybody opens up the app, I will be at the top of the screen. Like, it's going to be a really cool update to the app where you won't have to click a bunch of buttons and stuff like that. So that's going to be really cool. And I think that update should be coming out here soon. So I think I saw an email from the app developers yesterday. You had a 97. That bonus sun totaled in 2014. Great car. The Tercel was like the Corolla if taken care of. They will go forever. I also ended up with a Tercel again in college. Didn't really want it, but my car died. I ended up having to buy another car, but I only had like a couple $1,000s. So I ended up buying like a 1992 Tercel as well. Like, it was like green. And it was an automatic. That was my first automatic, and it was awful. I hate automatics. I'd much rather have a stick shift, but my last few cars have been automatics. And it's hard to buy a stick shift car anymore these days, I feel like. That was your daughter's first car. A Jeep, she called it Sally. Nice, Pauline. I love it. You're very welcome, Dina. You had a 78 Buick LeSabre. Nice. I know exactly what those look like. I called it Faithful because it got me where I needed to go no matter what. It was my third car, but first new car. Very cool, Pat. Yeah, there you go, Janelle. We all know I love your car. No, my wife absolutely despises my car. No, my kids hate my car. Nobody likes my car. Fine. We won't take my car anywhere. That's fine because it doesn't go anywhere anymore. And when it goes, if you're familiar with a Volt has a gas generator in it, but the drivetrain is all electric, and it is an electric car. And when I first bought it, it went up to like 47 miles. I almost got 50 miles of charge. Now I'm barely getting to the grocery store and back. Whatever. 100%. It costs about $30,000 to replace a battery, which I would never, ever do. Here we go. Stephanie, thanks for this information. Boy Scout Troop 98 and Jackie Jones Ford in Sweetwater. So anybody joining us around the Sweetwater area are hosting a relief drive. Drop off any donations at Jackie Jones. Great information right there. Stephanie, I do appreciate that. And anybody else know of any other drives, let me know. Linda had your RAV4 was Herb. Herb? That's awesome. I love these car names. Janelle, have you named your car? I guess we have. It's called Tess, right? I guess her car's Tess. My CX-5 isn't named yet, and I've had it for 4 years. Well, yeah, my cars haven't been named. What am I going to name my Volt? The Volt that won't? I don't know. Okay, that's who I thought you were talking about. Who doesn't love the Golden Girls? Oh, you're there. Hey, Jesse, if you wouldn't mind, if you have the app, wouldn't mind if you take some photos and give us an update. Either you can post them through social media and tag me in that, or you can upload that through the Witcher's Pictures link on the East Tennessee Weather app if you have cell phone service up there. But I wouldn't mind a nice little update on some photos, if you're taking any photos at all, of what's going on in Cott County and Newport. And that way I could just share it with everybody else, because there's still a lot of information that a lot of people aren't seeing, a lot of pictures that a lot of people aren't seeing. So if you have it in you to be able to do that, I really would appreciate that. Or you can email me, Mike at easttnweather.com. But probably social media and or the East Tennessee Weather app is probably going to be the easiest way to do that. Go, Krista, go. Go, Krista, go. Betty finally got her shirt. Yay, Betty. Remember, she won the contest about how old I was. Thanks a lot for guessing right, Betty. So I gave her a t-shirt. The first one I sent you got lost in the mail. You may end up with two. My funniest car was a 1979 Golden Edition Trans Am. Oh, there you go. My mom, there was another car like the Trans Am that my mom always used to want. And I remember her talking about it growing up. It was not the Trans Am, but it looked like a Trans Am. How about Robin? 1970 Dodge Dart. That is amazing. Nothing power green, vinyl floors, no radio. Solid car right there. That's amazing. Yeah, there we go, Jesse. Thanks for all of your help and everything that's being sent over to Newport. It is much appreciated. Jesse, from all of us and from anybody that's donating to your guys' cause, to your all's cause, yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. It takes a village, right? There you go. Yeah, that's right. You and Krista. Gonna have a baby. I had a Tercel and 3 Sentras. Nice. I think my wife's first car was a Saturn. Remember the Saturn that had the seat belts that were, and they always had to, and then you had to buckle the one down here, and they said, well, you got to buckle that, and I remember all that kind of stuff. First car was a Toyota Camry. That's pretty nice. That seems like a nice car. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate that. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate you. Yeah, so if you just upload it through the app, Jesse, it won't do videos, but it will do pictures. If you have any videos, you can just tag me in social or send those to me, mike@eastnweather.com. But I'll take pictures if you don't mind, and would love. And if you can give me a little description on what we're seeing or what we're looking at, especially if it's something like insane and we're like, I don't even know what that is, right? Because of all the destruction. The more information you put in there, the more I can add that into the social post. So just an FYI. But of course, do what you're doing. Don't take away from what you're doing. I don't want to take away from that. But if you have time to do that, it would be greatly appreciated. And Jesse's favorite muscle car is a 1976 Chevelle SS. You're a Pontiac girl. My first was a Sunbird called Princess. Awesome, Jesse. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. A Princess, a Sunbird. Oh, remember those old cars? Those are funny. It is funny to see some old cars. And to talk about the old cars and how much they've actually really kind of changed over the years. I do want to take you and show you real quick once again that we do have a lot of dense fog still showing up around the area. Remember, we are under a dense fog advisory. This runs until 9 o'clock. It's going to take a while for this fog to burn off, but some of the fog is the thickest across the mountain counties along Interstate 81, 2511 that runs up into Upper East Tennessee, also Alcoa Highway, 441, 321. So we still have a lot of lingering low-level moisture, and that's what's leading to all the fog issues. And again, I think that we will probably have more fog tomorrow than what we will have today, because I think we're going to have a little bit more of an inversion taking shape, and so that's going to be kind of the story. I do want to show you what it looks like outside, see if we can't get a couple cameras, see what these cameras are doing. Let's see what the fog looks like at Fox Road Marina. How about that? We'll take you to Fox Road Marina here real quick and show you. I don't know why my microphone disappears when I take that certain shot. We're going to have to figure that one out, aren't we? All right. Anyways. Hey, I really appreciate you. Again, thoughts and prayers to everybody being affected by the floods, all the victims, all the recovery folks, anybody that survived. The stories are mind-blowing. And if you get a chance, remember Jimmy. They found Jimmy's body yesterday, but still looking for Nancy's body. So if you can say a nice little prayer for your prayer warrior, I'm sure the family and our community would really appreciate that. If you can donate anything that you can, it would be greatly appreciated. There are a slew of places that are doing donations, probably most of the churches, the city of Knoxville, and a lot of communities. So we are trying to help out our friends, our community in Upper East Tennessee, try to recover, try to stay safe, and try to get some of the necessities that they need, that they've lost, i.e. water and food and clothing. The major necessities of life. For anybody that does live in Newport or any of the flood-destructed area, we are thinking about you. We are praying for you. We're trying to help you out as much as we possibly can. The good news is the weather is going to be nice and quiet, which will definitely allow for more of the rebuilding and the recovery efforts. All right, my friends, thanks for sticking with me here this morning on Wake Up with the Witcher. I'll be back at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'll have a bunch of stuff posted on social media. We're going to be talking about next week on social media. We're also talking about the tropics. So, again, if you see anything that you think the community should know about, just do a little extra subscribing or sharing. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube if you're on YouTube at all. Just go to East TN Weather. I run a 24-hour weather channel there on YouTube that also populates Roku TV, Amazon Fire, the website, and also the app. And of course, we broadcast live on all those platforms, plus both my Facebook pages, Mike Witcher TV and the East Tennessee Weather Facebook page. So what I'm going to send you to, if you've not seen it, most of you probably have, but some of you are maybe new to the platform, I'll show you what the 24-hour weather channel is, where I am now being populated into businesses and industries in East Tennessee. So you're going to start to see a lot more of East Tennessee weather around East Tennessee. 1 year, baby. 1 year and counting. Have a great day.
From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
And good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Have a great day today. We're going to see similar weather to what we saw yesterday. Maybe a stray shower. Probably not going to see much activity whatsoever, and really not expecting a lot of rainfall here over the next 5 to 7, maybe even beyond that days. All right, go ahead and talk about the almanac from yesterday. It was a good, solid average day. We made it into the 70s and low 80s, which was nice news to pass along. We had some sunshine, didn't pick up much in the way of rain, and that's going to be the story again throughout the day today. Now, we do have some patchy dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. Then that moves on out, I should say until 9 o'clock this morning. And then we'll see plenty of sunshine, but again, some fair weather cumulus clouds or some afternoon clouds will continue to kind of hang with us as the winds are going to be from the north and northwest. We do have a cold front on the way throughout the day today, but the cold front's going to be moisture starved. So we start the morning off in the 60s. We'll climb into the low 70s for the lunch hour. Our goal today, this afternoon, kids heading home from school, about 77. And our afternoon highs will be in the 70s and low 80s. A little bit cooler across the Cumberland Plateau. How about this evening? Nice evening ahead of us. Again, the dew points are going to stay in the 60s, so it's still going to have a little bit of a warmer feel to the air compared to what we will experience as we get into next week. Here's today's cold front. Doesn't do much. Moisture starved. High pressure is the name of the game. Upper level high pressure shifts off to our south and southeast. That's why you get that return flow coming from the Gulf of Mexico. We'll kind of be on the western side of that ridge of high pressure. As we wrap up the week and get into the upcoming weekend, again, a couple of spotty showers. Got another cold front on the way, another frontal boundary anyways, and that should usher in some very pleasant weather for next week. So over the next 3 days, not a whole lot of rainfall. Over the next 5 days, or 7 days, I should say, not a lot of rainfall as well. So we're just not looking at a lot of rain. And I think as we look ahead, the Climate Prediction Center is predicting below average precipitation all the way through possibly the middle part of the month, through the 16th. As we look at our rain chances, minimal at best. Got a couple frontal boundaries on the way, so that may pop off a couple of showers, but I've kept today dry. I just don't think we're going to see much activity, but I guess at this point of the game, if you get a stray shower, that's what's going to happen. All right, here we go. Finally, some fall weather arrives. Can you pick out the cold front? Cold fronts come slicing on through the area this weekend into Monday morning, and behind this cold front is going to be some amazing weather. The air dries out all next week. This takes us all the way through next Friday. Look at these dew points. Dew point's the measurement of the moisture in the atmosphere, right? So the lower the dew point, the lower our morning lows can go. Watch this. Ooh, it's going to be nice. Crisp, actually. This weekend, we're going to see temperatures in the 60s, but look at next week. We're going to be in the 40s and 50s. Those are morning lows. When you look at afternoon highs, it's going to be nice and comfortable as well. Little warm over the weekend. And then some solid fall weather on the way. We're talking about like pumpkin spice latte weather working its way into the area as we get into next week. And that's what the Climate Prediction Center is predicting here. That slightly below average weather as we get into the 6 to 10 day outlook, and then probably pretty average beyond that, your 8 to 14 day outlook. Let's talk tropics for a second. Anybody heading off to the coastal areas? We've been talking about this. Still only have a 40% chance of this becoming any sort of system. Not looking likely. I think just a low pressure system as it moves its way into the Gulf of Mexico. Does not look like it's going to take on much enhancements. And so if you are heading to the coastal areas this weekend for fall break, just do take the rain gear. We are talking about some scattered showers around this low pressure system, and probably more so from the Big Bend of Florida down to Tampa, maybe down towards Miami, and that should be about the extent of it. All right, so if you are heading off on your vacation, don't forget that you can actually track the weather where you are. Turn on your GPS location services with the app itself. But right here at the top of the app, there's a little plus sign. You can put in your destination right there before you go on vacation. And then while you're on vacation, before you come back home, check out the daily forecast weather updates, and you'll get an idea of what the forecast is going to be like right here in East Tennessee. And if you are traveling, don't forget the interactive radar gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. All right, we sure hope you have a great rest of your day. Your next weather update's coming up at noon today. In the meantime, enjoy some sunshine. See you soon.